the US almost blew up the moon. In the 1950s, the US military made a plan so insane, it sounds like a Bond villain's fever dream. Blow up the moon. Yes, the actual moon. And it wasn't a joke. What if I told you the US once considered nuking the moon just to show off, not to protect the Earth, not to fight aliens, just to flex? This isn't science fiction, it's declassified fact. At the height of the Cold War, someone seriously said, "Let's launch a nuke at the moon." And people nodded. We all know the Cold War was a time of paranoia, power moves, and some truly wild ideas. But one plan stands out as particularly unhinged. It wasn't just about weapons or spies. No, this was about sending a message so loud it could be seen from space. So why would any nation want to detonate a nuclear bomb on the moon? What did they hope to gain? And how close did we actually get to doing it? Strap in, because what you're about to hear is 100% real, and it's way crazier than you think. By the mid-1950s, tensions between the US and the Soviet Union were boiling over. The Cold War wasn't just fought with guns or tanks, it was a psychological battle, a fight to prove who was superior in science, tech, and military dominance. Then, in 1957, the Soviets launched Sputnik, the first satellite into orbit. It sent shockwaves through America. Suddenly, the US felt behind. They needed something big, something symbolic, something visible. And that's where the moon entered the picture. It was the ultimate stage. What better way to say, we're the most powerful nation on Earth than by nuking the damn moon? Codenamed Project A119, the idea was to launch a nuclear warhead that would detonate on the moon's surface, creating a visible explosion that could be seen from Earth. It was never about destruction. It was about spectacle. The project was led by the US Air Force and involved several prominent scientists, including, weirdly enough, Carl Sagan. Yes, that Carl Sagan. Before he was a beloved science communicator, he helped calculate how the moon dust would react to a nuke. The goal? To intimidate the Soviets and reassure the American public that the US was still winning the space race, in the most dramatic way imaginable. The plan involved launching a modified ICBM, an intercontinental ballistic missile, carrying a W-25 nuclear warhead, a relatively low-yield bomb compared to others in the US arsenal. They wanted to detonate it at the edge of the moon's terminator line, the boundary between light and dark, so the explosion would be maximally visible from Earth. This wasn't just science fiction. Real calculations were made. Simulations were run. Engineers and scientists spent months on the math. This thing was almost ready for greenlight. So why didn't we blow up the moon? A few reasons. First, public opinion. If this ever got out, the backlash would have been brutal. Second, scientific uncertainty. No one really knew how moon dust would react, or what long-term effects might happen. Could it alter the moon's orbit? Create radioactive debris? And finally, someone, thankfully, realized that maybe nuking a celestial body that affects tides, wildlife, and human sleep wasn't a great idea. The project was scrapped and buried until it was declassified decades later. The mere existence of Project A119 raises big questions. Was it just about propaganda? Was there a deeper military purpose? And how far are nations willing to go to flex their power? Even more shocking, some versions of this plan resurfaced years later in other proposals, including ideas to terraform planets with nukes. Sound familiar? Turns out, playing God with nukes is an idea that keeps coming back. So, what do you think? Was nuking the moon the boldest flex in history, or the dumbest? Can you imagine if they had actually gone through with it? Let me know in the comments. Would a giant nuke explosion on the moon have impressed you, or freaked you out? And hey, if you enjoyed diving into this slice of insane history, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and share this with a friend who thinks the moon landing was wild. Wait till they hear about the moon nuking. What the fact is this?